We are back, and it is map 3. No, you're not dreaming. Yes, it's G2 versus Leviathan, and Lev takes map 2 to push us all the way to 3. We've said it a bunch of times. The desk just said it. What an unexpected day.
Yeah.
But what an awesome to see change here for the Lev squad in just a few weeks for the stage 1 so far.
Exactly. When we had an opportunity to see the whole characters of Leviathan after the win against Furia, you're like, okay, well, you're only one against Furia.
Right.
Now you're playing against G2,
Temper
and we're not
expectations.
exactly. Let's temper the expectations, but to now, I'm starting to believe. They had 2 very good maps so far,
Yeah.
and now they're bringing us to a 3rd map where we just saw G2 not going with any changes at all, and Leviathan, though, going with Demon 1 still as a duelist. And you know what? You're looking at what they played in the past. We haven't seen them play Haven since Kickoff. And they played the most standard thing as possible with, I think it was a Sova still. But this time, they're actually going to the standard with the variation of a Tejo instead onto Com. That may be difficult on how you want to try to find those scan opportunities to go for these picks from these retakes on the Heaven side, especially on A. But thankfully, this time around, they don't have to start off on the defensive side first. They're actually able to start the attack and go for what is this comp good for, the floods with this util around the initiators. And Demon 1 at the tip of the spear, the forefront to try to create that space. You want to maximize as many rounds on attack as possible with this comp.
All right, we're phasing into game here. And Demon 1's going to be back on that Sheriff by 2. Was wondering if we would see that on the pistol rounds. Goes previously for his Neon, where Sheriff usually stands for him.
Push.
And they do push from the side of G2. Valen getting himself encroached very far here with just a bit of help down in sewers from Jonah P. But all this action is slowly crawling into Garage right now.
Here.
Yeah, they got to work quick over the sheer. Uh-oh.
Kind of left Rossi behind, but that's okay. They're just containing towards the garage first.
Wait, they thought everybody made it over the sheer. They all jump into the fight. It's just a frying pan in Garage right now, and it's going to be a rotation from 3 to try and retake on 3. Health is quite low for both.
Flipping the map too, pushing towards that spawn. Element of the surprise is still on the side of G2. Now finally spotted, readjusting, but look at this late position coming out as well from Com. Salvo's still available, so once again, Leviathan wants to run that clock down and play the post plant with the Salvos.
He was just hiding from that drone, so they don't expect him at all. He's got the timing. Demon 1's going to call the eyes, call the attention. Here comes Com. It's just picture perfect right now for Lev on the retake from G2.
It's 2 HP for Valen.
Oh, the big toe, he stubbed it right on the salvo. Valen goes down. Another pistol round in this series for Leviathan.
I just love as well that Leviathan, once they ping out towards that wall, there had to be some call of Rossi to say, look, don't dash into the site, just stay where you are. We need to protect ourselves and make sure we play for the trade on window, especially when it didn't smoke towards that garage window. That allows here, yes, the stun to get good value on the side of G2, but all 3 of them were just ready to fight and trade back towards the window. You have a clear advantage on your side here for Leviathan at the pulse plant. And now you get the pistol on your side towards the end with how they adapted on the fly here on that 3 versus 3. Now this round though for Leviathan, very quick on the control on towards the A side where for G2, they've stayed very passive here. The wall's going to give a lot of info.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute. We really have to consider this one. Seeing if anybody's playing slow off the wall, they will now get orb. But do they take it? They do all together. This is big for Tex. He's had the anchor spots, but now he's going to really have to play this one particularly well so far.
If he dies, he loses a Sheriff.
And they already have ground on that A site. You're right, it's not too bad. They get themselves into position, and holy moly, util to bottom. They don't want to give up any of this space. Wow. Instantly identifying kills that can be grabbed with simple util, and they just go for it.
It was so dangerous, though. They knew that it was a triple flank coming out towards spawn, yet they still want to fight back towards the sewers against Jogimo, who only had a pistol. No upgrades coming through across of that, and you're pushing on with the spike. Thankfully, though, it's a 3 versus 3. They still have better weaponry, and only Sheriff's in the hands of Valen and Jonah P.
Oof. Not where he wanted to catch that bullet right off the bat. Com still has good distance between the site, and he is going to have the shot for Valen as well. 2 rounds. Leviathan stave off the Thrifty, the Stinger by, if it were to be that this time from G2. They just try to get themselves some kills on that last one, though.
I just love how we have basically coined definitions of Com's role in different teams. For EG, he was the flanking guy, but this time it's just the VIP stay alive because we need your salvos. So he's played so far out compared to everybody else in these post-plant scenarios. Just to try to guarantee it off the plant, off the time for the spike. Again, it looked rough in the very beginning, especially when Dogmo got just a full classic kill, but the rest of Leviathan working together, doing a great job here to trade things out and staying as a death ball in their bonus round. All 5 of them towards the window and looking for the potential easy plan towards the B site.
Tex threw a gun down this round, spent like 3,600, so they're kind of sorting out the economy to make something work, and they're also sorting themselves towards B very, very quick. Do we get the dash and plant? Bring us the old Shazam send hit?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Leaf always finding a cheeky one like that with Jonah P over his shoulder. Now, they're wondering where it's going to be safe to plant in B, or do they wait out this minute? They got a lot of time to see if G2 will make a mistake.
They're committed inside the site, so you're probably just going to have to swing and fight.
1 swing, 2 swing. Oh, the third one's going to work, but Jog is still there to anchor. And yeah, G2 playing a nice bonus there to make sure they can get the win on that.
Yeah, I definitely thought that you potentially wanted to have King move in and go for a plant and TP out, especially with the Vice Wall in that area. But when he already TP'd across, he never activated it. But there was a lot of util coming through from G2 to stall. It almost felt for Demon 1 like he wanted to assist King so that he doesn't get flooded in while he's planting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that activates the wall, and they weren't really together to fight. They had to go for hero plays with the Omen and the Jet. And G2 closed that out quite easily. Now Leviathan, 4 players working together towards the C site. It's off a contact place. Jonah P is looking for the fault line.
What a call on this setup from G2. Oh my gosh. Oh, they get the spam back, but Trent says I can do the same. They get a taste of their own medicine on that spam through the smoke.
Yeah, both breaches down, and Com's actually lower on HP. Definitely is just going to slow down the tempo for Leviathan, who are still holding towards the C site. So just waiting for potentially for the salvos to come back up.
And sewers control, garage control.
Yeah, that's all on the side of G2.
Right, they're just hanging out for G2. You don't really need to make any too bold of a move right now. Just let Lev make the noise.
Valen already plays down all of his stars just preemptively, so there's really nothing to help Trent towards the front of the C site. So when you're trying to re-hit, well, definitely you have to fall back and give it that space until Valen decides to push in.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy play, but he almost got a few out of it. Nicely turned back, Calm low, starts to push up just a little bit, get some aggression with the drone. Trent dodges the drone, Trent! What the hell was that?
Trent gets the timing to go through the smoke when the drone comes out. Everybody has their back turned to look back towards the garage, thinking that they could have flipped the map one more time. That was, what, the 3rd time they would attempt to plant and just play back towards the defender spawn, thinking that G2 is consistently going for these backstab, these lurks. And just that timing off the drone, Trent is able to get a trip kill towards the back of the C site. That has got to be frustrating, especially when you're a seasoned droner like Calm. That breaks the econ too for Leviathan. They only have 2 stingers to work with now.
Yeah, anything they were trying to prep before is squandered now. Go for the garage control, knowing the shear is going to be there. Chance to mess with this. But yeah, they're throwing themselves at the pressure here, at the pain. And it's going to be a tough one. Oh my gosh. Leaf? Leaf is sitting in the chaos right now. And it's a pick of deja vu just in garage now from Leaf. It is a low buy, but they're making it look so clean to pick up these rounds on the side of G2.
Now you can't even get the Phantom up here for Demon 1, nor for Tex with the Stinger, both with pistols, just trying to get the plant down. Okay, pistol's good enough when it's Tex.
1 enemy remaining. Spike down.
Demon 1 found himself a weapon, but how much is it going to do? Everybody down, looking down their iron sights at you at this point. He's full with half armor. Oh, just on the rear. Nope. Knows it's fake.
30 seconds
Oh,
left.
Boy, he's trying to fake going back. Yeah, that's tough.
All
He's
right.
lost full control of the C side now. He's just hoping that it's going to be individual peaks.
they don't want to give it to him. And the full rotation's now coming around from Jogamo just to be sure that they're not all coming from somewhat the same direction with the flick that Demon 1 has. It's all a possibility. And they wait this one out. Oh my gosh, this has to be the plant. He only has enough time to plant. And G2 Leaf grabbing the 4K to make sure that round is solidified.
Yeah, that's just G2 playing it smart. The longer you're waiting right now to go for that plant, the easier it is to get the salvos up here for Trent. And just made sure that they played to their advantage with what they had in the cards here for G2. And yeah, that's twice now that you have somebody that's able to sneak through smokes 2 rounds in a row.
All good, Jonah.
Just another day at the office.
LEV has to be ready for these. I mean, at this point, I'm sure you don't need a timeout to be called this time by Idopata. It's definitely to be called out by Rossi for them to be just mindful of players around the smokes here on the side of G2.
And some good ults to use this round. And even if they don't, they can go with a low buy Blade Storm next round if they really want to keep the pressure on G2. But this should be a good hit. They've been liking Garage quite a bit. The fight that they get and the way that they can get themselves through with Demon 1 seems to be a focus now for LEV.
Yeah, now you see a smoke coming in from the C Garage, so they definitely want to bait out this wall and make sure that they fight towards that window. Priority is not towards moving towards that C site. It's just breaking that util at the minute mark, which is perfect, allowing Tex to get the lurk over towards the A site and win against Jogimo. Now they can rework the map. You're forced now G2's hand. They cannot drone either. They've used it already at the minute mark, so they might have to start peeking for info or just gamble on stacks.
Tex is on one this game. Get the long shot on one. This is going to position them to get themselves over towards that A site. And as that steel garden goes down, they steal away the arsenal.
Oh my gosh.
It's not going to matter for Trent or Jonah P. The shorties are there. Just the 2v retake.
Oh, this is huge. Might give a chance now for Leaf to lurk around from sewers because of that pick.
Little Vise diff coming up. Crosshairs there.
Round.
Tex has been on point.
And
And that's going to get modeled. Oh my gosh. Just to the left side. Valen now figures it out. Tries to get the shot. And Valen does it again against his old teammate.
Oh yeah, he's gonna wave. He's gonna wave. Just 2 maps ago, when Valen was trying to chase after the ace, he was against Tex.
Exactly.
And Tex took him down, and they laughed at each other. This time, you see Valen game face on and wants to close out this series on the side of G2. It almost looked though in that duel that that Tex I think ran out of bullets after a couple of shots here, and somehow Trent getting these picks.
Remaining.
Very nice by Valen towards the end. And you saw there that Rossi was just trying to reposition himself, but I think as soon as he made it around the corner, all over towards the defender spawn, he was already spotted by Valen, so it was a free kill. When you could have repositioned and try to guarantee with the Rolling Thunder around for your side. Just thought here that you could just outsmart your opponents, and G2 was just 1 step ahead.
Seeing that Red Bull clutch causes Idopata to hit the timeout button for Leviathan. Only 2 rounds down here, but this is what happened in the previous maps. They'd fall 2, and both teams would be trying to call the timeout, get the team back in the game, and we get these coach timeout battles now.
Yeah, and I think if you're on the side of Idopata, calling out this timeout is just trying to work out the protocols around there, right? You looked at that round number 4 and 5, it was all a person pushing through, smoking, getting kills. And that last round, it was a 2v2, just not good position on the pulse plat and not playing for each other, right? You have one playing a default spot, looking towards the sewers, the other one's trying to go for their hero play, looking back towards the spawn. So you now have to make sure that you iron that out a little bit more, because if you're going to give one-on-ones, G2 most likely will take those.
For sure. Yeah. And even in that one, you could easily be saying we got that kill at A. We don't have to go there. That rotation was from garage and mid. So it took a long time. Lev still has the chance to work the map.
Yeah, I mean, the macro's still been very, very good
It
for
has.
Leviathan, no
It
matter
really
what.
has.
Despite the scoreline. So again, just trying to make sure they iron out those small things. They might be able to have some good, successful attack sides. And that is, again, the name of the game. They need to pick up a lot of these rounds because you're not playing with the Silva this time around.
Yeah. Retaking is only going to be that much harder once you get to the defensive side. So Lev needs all of these attack ones. We talked about the Blade Storm. It does come out on a lower buy for them, as Brossi plants right in the Cosmic Divide. A little otherworldly here as the Armageddon comes through, only displacing the team. Oh, Leaf displaces a few more members, takes them right out of the game. Flashes, Blade Storm, only tagging one as Jonah answers back, and this just looks like G2 swarming the site and the members of Leviathan to make it just too tough to hold.
The Armageddon really split those players across for Leviathan on the post plan, and by the time they were trying to escape back towards that front, trying to leverage potentially that rolling thunder from Rossi in the post plan, I think the smoke from King dissipated back towards the spawns and became 2 easy kills. You can see right there, smoke is gone, Leaf easy 2K onto King and Tex. Well, you wish here that the Razor Vines went a little bit more deeper towards that spawn to not allow these swings to happen. But yeah, it's just small things. It renders so costly for Leviathan in these scenarios for the post plan or even for these hits. And at this rate, that might be pretty much G2 smooth sailing all the way towards the end, where now the AWP comes down on the defensive side of Jogimo, already positioned down towards the sewers. Thankfully, though, all of Leviathan are reading correctly here. 4 players moving up towards this C site, and it's opened up. G2 wants to play the passive C site hold in a full retake on their side.
Inserting one over towards B. That's an ultimate for King, though, so he can still play a little bit of a random game with someone at C for G2 if they decide to play it like that.
Yeah, and again, I want to preface how good the macro's been so far for Leviathan. You look for pressure towards that C side, you've inserted King on one spot.
Yeah.
Now you drone at the minute-mark. You saw that the AWP's moving in towards sewers now, so you can rework, potentially go for just a split back towards the C side and a King TP towards the back.
Oh, this is very aggressive here from G2. Maybe thinking the play was going towards A a bit, but jogged on that line. So Leaf steps out, gets himself taken down here. There was util to make it happen, but it was all very chaotic.
And with Leaf falling down, it's easy for them to take garage control. Here's a smoke play.
What is this smoke play again? No way, it works again! No shot, it works again. Has to be patched up by Leviathan over and over there within an arm's reach in garage, and G2 just slap Lev around.
You TP to pick up Spike, but it's still a 2 versus 4. Rolling Thunder to delay even more.
10 seconds
They
left.
can't even think, they can't blink, they don't know where to look. Swarm down, but King actually has it covered for a moment. It's he was waiting for another flash. He's like, there's gonna be a flash there. I have to push it. And he just turns around for too long as Trent and the rest of the team swarm into the site, into garage.
Yeah.
Make it look impossible.
Well, shot the decoy too. That's how he got flashed towards the end. But dude, third time rather, but this time 2 players jumping through the smoke and catching Leviathan off guard. It was so good. They had a nice punish towards the beginning. We mentioned how they were trying to manipulate the rotates, and G2, instead of rotating across after the drone comes out towards A, they want to fight for control towards B. Fully punished, but just, again, couldn't take control of garage.
Dismiss smoke, and they know he's going to be on that line. Lev's playing very heady right now. They may be behind, but they have an idea of what G2 wants to do. I think it's where it's separating is the firepower now that we've been seeing, and how they're orchestrating these small protocols on the side of G2. Oh, that's not a small protocol. This means Demon 1 is in. Exactly what we're used to seeing from this guy. Can't finish the last one, but the team's gonna be able to help Trent right there actually to deliver 2 kills, and the Shorty's ready for more with the team behind him.
How does he survive for so long for Jogimo? Gives a chance now for G2 to just reflood, and he doesn't even need to TP away, just plays selflessly to allow for G2 to come through and Trent to get these picks in. That's now spiked down. Thought these 2 players are going to save their weapons, but they're just repositioning back towards long.
It's like the Steel Garden is just causing people to bring out shorties and push up to the closest angle here. Be so careful when this stuff happens, because it does not seem to be throwing G2 off too much. And now they look to throw Tex one last kill right to the ground, and now 7-2 for G2. What a hold on A with all that thrown at them.
Yeah. At this rate, I'm just thinking of Leviathan's cap is they're falling behind so much here on their attack side, but it was very similar to what happened to them the previous map. on Lotus. Their attack didn't look the best, but once they took defense, they looked quite awesome. they had some great showings from Tex on how he was able to get so many good multi-kills and anchoring for that site. Lee's doing an excellent job in that role on defense right now, so this could definitely be mimicked. But so far, it's definitely G2 in the driver's seat. They're playing offense.
Little mid look. Back to Garage. I think this is one of those, they always fight us Garage, so let's try to take the lower gunfight and see if we can win it this time.
Yeah, third time's the charm.
Third time is the charm. We'll see if it rings true here for the side of LEV.
And they're watching the smoke.
Yeah,
they're probably doing it, but lower weapons, stingers, and this time G2 doesn't want to fight into that. They're just repositioning into the C site.
Jog with the op pushed up on A, so nobody has to look anywhere else but a little bit towards mid and Garage and C right now. So much info for G2 just on that line from him and the operator. Oh, Demon 1 doing Demon 1 things, sprinting into the site. King's just on the wrong side of that weaponry as Jonah P and the rest of the team start to clean up nicely, calling the shots and hitting them as well. Oh, the shorty comes out again. You know it's going to be bad. Valen just starts pressing W, shorty out, and they have full control of this game now.
Somehow gets a wallbang kill with the shorty. That's of all crazy things, but very, very nice for G2. Having 3 players stacked up towards that C site, and you're just hoping at this point with Leviathan's buy that those sheriff shots were going to hit. Because you saw that they had a first wave of util. Look at this full stun coming out here on the back of the platform. You had Demon 1 that dashed on top of the boxes and almost caught Valen towards the back, but unfortunately couldn't land the kill, so it makes it a lot easier here for G2 to just anchor up the C site and win that round. There's a bit. So far, it's been very difficult for Leviathan to really set foot into these rounds, into the sites. And this timeout now being utilized once again by Leviathan, the last one potentially of this series if it doesn't go into overtime, and it's really to try to maximize how many rounds they could get here on the attack. Again, defense have been very, very good.
That's true. Ito with a lot to say in this one. You can easily see Rossi talking between the rounds and sometimes in these timeouts, but I think Ito's really unhappy with what's been happening towards that mid round, towards the control of the positions that they're taking, and they're having the positions taken away from them when really there should be no threat of that. When you're holding Garage, when you're preparing to hit a site, that's kind of in your safe spot. But G2 is making nothing safe right now for Leviathan. They got all the prep smokes out on the site. The stars are down. Looks like they're looking for an A strat on the side of G2, and they may just receive it from Lev, but Demon 1's about to go on an adventure.
Yeah, good old classic duelist lurk.
All right, now they're going to come back with him, so it's just a quick fake to the right.
So this has to be a fast tempo, especially when they use all that util towards the A side first. Trying to split towards the Garage. Valen makes it out alive, but yeah. Dogma does a nice punish in the beginning.
Oh, that looked very Kaladi. Didn't happen though. It's going to be a 1-for-1 on it, but we've already lost King to the operator of Jogamo. And C is still the hit. They continue to favor this site through Garage, not even the long C hit. It just seems like Lev feels comfortable. They get the plant, and they get out of the Armageddon damage.
They're separated.
Jaw so strong on those, but he goes down to Rossi as they know he's going to try to play towards backside. Operators up, their smoke's there. They are not going to be just the initiators for G2.
That's going to be good enough. What a shot by Lee.
Never mind.
Dropping salvos right away, and the good old classic Kong coming back through the Garage with the Armageddon to delay as much as he could.
Oh, shots at the back, one of the hardest ones to take, and Jonah P has a full frontal there for a quick Vandal kill. Goes ahead, grabs the orb, one away after this from his ultimate. Teammates, sounds nice.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt by Com towards the end, and you wanted at least the off shot from Rossi to land one to give any hope a chance for Com to clutch that one over.
Oh, I thought he was going to get the sliver peek.
Nah, he literally just easy walked down and TP's out. That's the classic Dogamo.
Jeez. Save it.
Yeah, don't bring us into a tech pause, Com.
We don't. Save. Good control. All right. Death ball towards A. Lev really haven't tried to produce this too much like they were on Fracture. It worked out for them so well to be all together here. It's a little harder when you got Haven. You do want that lurk, but it doesn't seem like they have power in numbers as much this game.
Definitely see the idea of trying to punish from this wall set down right away in the front of the A-long for Leaf. Again, you're in range to salvo and also go with the fault line across the wall being activated. So good call here from Yeti with the free float to display this for us. G2 is going to be ready for it. They already thrown back towards the front of the B side and saw nothing.
Oh, a little thorned up. A little hit with Util.
There. Wall trip.
Back in position. Oh, Leaf has a lot of work to do. They identified him in one, but he still hits the shot on Demon 1. He tried to vandal out of the smoke. The team wasn't able to actually aggress with him.
Gets a second with 1 bullet left in the chamber, in the clip.
If he fired right now, he'd still be hitting calm. Like, his crosshairs are just perfect in every situation right now. And the team's ready to take out more before they even get to Leaf at this point.
Good hit.
Slowly playing in, still looking for the flank right now. Lev stalled on everything in this strategy, and the members are able to get a few kills here. Is this a kill from Tex coming out from sewers? No, it's not. And Jog is able to turn for 3 as he takes down Rossi too.
The end became a team deathmatch as you had no util left and you're just trying to go for picks before the next wave of utility comes back up here on the defensive side of G2. But Leviathan is just too many bodies to face up against when he lost 2 players in the very beginning trying to execute towards the A site, and G2 have a comfortable cushion moving into the second half.
Yeah, able to read a lot of what Lev was doing as they get rinse and repeat towards that garage. So we come out with a 10-2 first half as we take a break to see what Lev can do as we come back.
To the sky, cause we got enough to survive. Good times, man, we alive. That time I take is all mine. Top spot, taking control. Ain't no stopping me, I'm on a roll. New age prodigy, I got it all. Come for the ride, we bout to let it go. We going up, up. Yeah, look at us, us. We here for the rush, rush. Yeah, we going up, up. We going up, up. Yeah, look at us, us. We here for the rush, rush. Yeah, we going up, up.
We are back, and G2 has been unleashed so far, Vans, on Haven. The 10-2 you see on your screen here. The first 2 maps, if you're just joining us, were nothing like that. 13-10, 13-11, but here G2 seems to start bringing out that organization, that teamwork, that strategy they have from their support squad, and it is a little too strong for Lev right now.
You're definitely hoping that that small little halftime break gave a chance here for Itopada to talk with the rest of the team to make sure that they have a stronghold on this second half or in this second half. Because if not, you're looking back at this demo and you're going to focus on that round 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those smoke plays that came out here from G2's side. And the attempt to work towards the garage and C side totally failing from just small things. That ended up here this second half, a lead for G2 by 8. Pissed around now with G2 holding back towards that spawn. Thinking potentially that Leviathan, feeling the pressure, might want to go for something aggressive in the very beginning. But you are playing fairly reactively for Leviathan. So far back, opened up B side. The only thing given to tell is a wall on that side being set up by Tex. But if not, you're jump spotting. You're trying to look at these different angles. Demon 1's playing the off angle into the garage, and G2 is going to have to start working that map. Any first indication that there's going to be pressure somewhere, and it seems to be Leaf on the A side to start, that might start pulling some rotates over.
Signatures just came back up. Initiator salvo, as we saw actually there on Trent, just pinged through. So now they're able to get back to a site and hit this. Lev's been good on the pistol rounds. Can they get another one? It's almost imperative that they do here. The site is covered. So they know where any members would be standing at this point. Now they flood back out
Beautiful
in.
stun.
Tex, yeah, playing off that stun so well. And this push from Demon One, you gotta always expect it. Gets himself to safety, pulls the fight again, and he still finds Trent. Almost getting Valent on that one, but it's not gonna be enough. King will find the last frag and another pistol. One very needed pistol comes in for Leviathan.
Some sick mechanical skills coming out from Demon One to make sure he's able to escape reloading, even get the third kill inside the window. But that said, what they were trying to do for G2, it wasn't LEV trying to push out towards that A side, but it's the fake from the drone into the garage. But you just have great utility from Leviathan. The Razor finds towards that A site, and a site smoke didn't allow your G2 to really enter towards that site, and Demon One just walked down for free kills. That's a type of pistol run you need here for Leviathan.
Yeah.
A very strong start on the defensive half, and now G2 is just trying to at least move in for a plant. Staying as a group towards the sewers.
Hello.
Stay up your side.
Oh, King goes for the very early paranoia. You saw it hit the util on the way through. Oh, the stinger from Com was set up to hit that cross.
Gun here.
And he has stalled out now. 5v3. This should be a very patient round, and a nice job from LEV to organize themselves here just to start off strong on the second half.
Yeah. Good protocols in the end here for Leviathan. With the smoke being pushed a little bit more deeper towards the sewers, just so that Com, on the first contact, the fault line will be coming out here from Rossi, and you could go for that swing and guarantee these trades out from both. I think that was King with Com inside the site. Now G2 couldn't even go for a plan, and because of that first round where how things went through, you didn't see a G2 stinger buy because they didn't go for, they weren't able to get a plant down on that first round. So no shenanigans, no surprise coming out from G2, and Leviathan's able to string 2 good rounds and a fairly strong bonus round. I mean, look at this, an Outlaw in the hands of Tex. A couple of hash shields being purchased by Trent and Leaf.
Yeah. Already inside sight. Quickly takes that gate crash in, and they do not expect it. With the flashes coming through, King had to give a little bit of space, and when he regains it, Jog is right there on the front doorstep. Oh, this spawn fight could be weird. Nice timing there by Leaf just to get behind Tex.
Yeah, 2 bloop bloop shots.
Yep, easy. Another one goes down. Demon One able to fire back, but LEV is losing players across the map where they really need the flank to be coming in. The pressure that they require to get back to the site is waning here, but Demon One is doing work. Shot from Rossi. They don't find him. Demon One with a third? Wait a minute here. Looks like they could shut down and gain themselves a bonus round. It is going to be a 4K for Demon One, and they even lost a flank super early.
Wait a minute, Demon One is farming right now.
What the heck?
Just duels long range. I was going to say so tough for Leviathan to go back for the defuse because they already lost King right there in the very beginning of the round. So there's no smoke on top C for them to go for the tap. I mean, look at it once again, man. He's just zoned in.
No charges left.
Isolates these fights.
How? He's just he's like normal day at work for Demon
Or
One.
he's
4K. That's
super
great.
angry when the rounds don't work out, or just a small fist bump when they win rounds, you know?
I'll be hyped after that. But he knows there's a long way to go. We see it on the scoreboard. You still got to do that 5 more times just to even up the game.
And so far, so good. You've seen Demon One really activated in the first few rounds of the defensive half. Position continuing rather to be very good for Leviathan because G2 is fairly slow. Just trying to work the map around the Tejo utility. And finally, probably Jogimo is going to be the next one moving up to the team. Oh, dude.
I think they hit the mid-shear as well, finding out it was there through the smoke. We keep seeing that early smoke thrown by King, so they can't see that there's a shear just on the other side of B. So now that's info gained by G2 to use throughout the round and mess with that. Still a member down here after losing Trent. And a lot of delay utility going out here at the 45-second mark means that's only going to be alive if the spike gets planted again.
Even then, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Demon One so far. He's back potentially in Demon Prime as his duelist role.
Oh, the
30
timing.
seconds left.
You know the spike is planted. 5-person retake here. And all that initiator util that they would like to have, Vance.
Thankfully, Valent's close with a stinger, and that could start things off.
Oh, the timing. Very nicely stepped into.
Not for Jonah, though. He just got picked off through that smoke by Rossi.
Jog looking for that flash up through the smoke. They're able to find 1, 2, and just one with Jog. Demon 1 and Rossi clean that up. They're going to be focusing comms Armageddon, which is going to be 2 pips away now. And a 10-6 as this is LEV's second half so far.
And you're seeing a very clean Leviathan with that display that they just did on that retake. Because that smoke just went up by VALORANT towards that spawn. You just wait the 15 seconds. When it's about to dissipate, then you throw the paranoia in and you start flooding from different spots. And again, starting off with Demon 1, the first blood, then the first kill on the entry into the A site with the advantage that they've gotten there. Despite being a lower buy here for G2, at least to get the plant down. Now you're getting very close to cycles on Ults. Jogmo's 1 away from his dimensional drift. And that might be the first thing that allows here G2 to string the first round. And thankfully, you had a 10-2 half to start things off here for G2.
Yeah.
Because that one round could really, start hurting the economy of Leviathan side. They're still not out of this yet, despite winning 4 rounds in a row on the defense. G2 has had such a good lead going into the second half that they just need that one single round.
Exactly. The quick spark to get him back into it. You know,
Exactly.
Jog, Leaf, Trent, any of those players can actually just get an ace. But it is being staved off by LEV. They're hitting the site so fast. They're trying to prevent those multi-kills from coming in. That possibility that anybody can react in time. 4 straight rounds now for LEV here on the defensive side, and 2 successful defuses in the last 2 rounds. So the post-plant retakes are going very, very well. Demon 1's about to break it out. We got the up on Jet again. 17 and 13 for him as he takes aim now. He's going to get online on A. You can see the pings already there. You'll have a bit of help here from Tex.
Yeah, if anything, though, G2 looks like they want to move this very quickly towards Garage.
Smartly.
And it's a perfect read by Leviathan at the beginning. With 10 seconds before the barriers come up, Demon 1's going to just fully anchor up towards the A side. And they already have 3 players strongholding towards the Garage C. The only thing that's going to make it difficult here for the defense of LEV is when the smoke comes up. It's a recall on that side, but Demon 1 disrespects it, and he has a full angle on that spot. So the rest of Leviathan can just continue to hold towards his Garage and C site, and even pushing King all the way down towards the cubby of Silong.
Checking A main for the re-clear, making sure they're not losing any space or information here to Leviathan.
Zone is down.
And LEV is happily giving that A site to Tex. Like you said, they move back. Now Demon 1 starts to rotate here towards mid. He's just trying to get that op mobile and keep it moving.
Already used his dash to try to get the peek into middle. So now we talked about Tex being very good in terms of anchoring on that previous map of Fracture, and now on a defensive Haven. So far, solo towards the A side, Demon 1 meeting up with them.
Thorns.
And G2 is definitely looking for the full exec.
See the Thorns hitting right there at the entrance to spawn. That is actually going to stop Rossi from getting back in, and Jogamo and the rest of the team try to wreak havoc in sight, but Tex skirting around, playing a little cheeky here, does get the refire there. Great decision making on who he's got to take out as he gets another one with Rossi in the sight.
Yeah, getting one more is huge right there, especially with the double swing out from G2. Leviathan looks like they want to temple fairly quickly with the aftershock early, and you have a lurk coming in from King.
He's slow. Are they going to hit from spawn first or the lurk first is the question. King's going to tap just quick. He does get Jonah P, and that's obviously going to be the spring out now for Com and Rossi. They may lose one, but this is all but done. The paranoia goes through. Balance dancing, trying to separate himself. The 1v1s are there, but the jump peek comes through. 2's better than 1 in that situation, and King comes up with the kill.
I was just going to mention it was an important fight from Sewers on that lurk from King. Because if he actually swung out and got picked off, that's no paranoia that was going to hit VALORANT towards that back of the site and giving a chance here for G2 to really close out the map. But it continues to be fairly clean on the defense for Leviathan.
Man, Tex is having a day. Got to call him out in a lot of these plays, a lot of the 1Vs. He's had 4s, and he's been ebbing and flowing the past few weeks, but is absolutely showing up.
He found a gap through 2 of VALORANT's smokes on the top of Heaven in the back of Default. And to get that kill onto Joggermo by the ammo box because of that is just so good from Tex's movement within the A site. The pockets that he finds on all these defensive holds from Fracture until now has been very good.
The Odin. Haven't seen the Odin Havens by in quite some time. Very spammable walls actually towards A. We'll talk about it if we get there. Demon 1, you are insane, bro. What is this? VALORANT's going to come up and push through. He saw through that dismiss. Nobody peeked last time, so he thought it'd be the same case, but he finds a party of G2.
That was unfortunate, not good, because if you even dash away, who's there to help you?
No.
All of Leviathan were actually looking to push and fight down towards B. But they've been good on retakes. Now we'll see if they can convert a 4 versus 5.
Ooh, that is some quick fire coming in on G2. Wait, Rossi actually gets out. Finds the landing, and now they're in sight. This is going to be tough, though. A bit of util to come through. The Tejo salvos are there, and Aftershock is there to make things even more annoying. And G2's just not peeking? Oh, they are. And they've lost a head. That's Jogmo's head. Half?
No half.
Just off a half. But it is going to take the Rolling Thunder, and it does bring G2 to 11.
And off at Thrifty on top of that.
Yep.
That is not something you wanted there for Leviathan's camp. Again, I feel like it could have potentially been a different story if Demon 1 didn't try to do this. Even if he gets 1.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We know, Dad. We know. It's okay. Disappointed.
And that's what I'm saying. Even if he got 1 and he dashed away, that's still G2 getting an open A site. It was a very difficult call to have done here for Leviathan's side. And a Thrifty now with now an Armageddon available for G2. Leviathan has their own at least.
Yeah. Rossi just off of it as well. Could be a lot of plays to come to fruition in this if they get the right timing. And focusing on G2 now, very spread on the map. Oh.
Oh, that's 2.
Yeah. You see the initiators, so they actually know a lot of info of how Lev is playing this game. Demon 1, however, is going to take a step forward. One of the things he's best known for is kind of just bucking that time you think you have into a site.
He snuck through somehow towards the A lane.
Yeah, it's like, how is this happening right now? Com almost gets the kill onto that one. And they keep pushing into the site now, or not Com, but somebody else in sight rather. 11-7, this could be 12 for G2. Game point pressure to come through. Armageddon and Rolling Thunder is going to displace. They have an idea of where G2 could be hiding in the site.
And the smoke is saving Jogmer right there at 10 HP. He's going to get the backstab.
Com. 2 there.
Stuck available. Very difficult now for Com. Has to bait out all that util first.
Oh, he wants the first peek. And that's going to be the kill for Trent. They're able to get it. Didn't even need the help from Valen, who was coming from sewers. It was all shored up. And now game point for G2, map 3 of Haven.
And it was nice by Leviathan to double push down towards that sewers in the very beginning. That was probably the weakest spot that you had because you already had the wall towards long A.
Yeah.
But after they got that pick, G2 just fully engaged towards that A site. And because the drone saw both initiators on that C link.
God, King is so tilted, bro.
You knew there was no utility available to stall and delay with the big ults that Rossi and Tom had.
Yeah.
So it makes it even more difficult for them to use the double ults on a retake when it's the only 2 players remaining. And now G2 is at series point. Leviathan thankfully have a little bit of money. Keeping Demon 1 inserted inside the window has been a prominent position on the pistol round.
That was a keep him in the game kill right there.
Yeah.
The Demon 1 misses it just on the edge. You got to give credit to LEV for the snap on that. They're going to be able to take down Tex in sight too. G2 making a good case for this, but Rossi actually comes flying in the sight. They're just pressing W to delay here. The Bulldog doesn't connect with the second one, but it is going to do some collateral damage there. 64 and 70 for both of the members of G2 right now. A very healthy Rossi tries to get in with the classic, and so does Tom. What are you doing, guys? Go together. Trent's gonna pick up the 2 kills. G2's gonna pick up the win, and they take Haven to take the series.
What a flick towards the end by Trent. That was an oh my Trent moment once again with this free transfer to close the series out for G2 in the lead, and also continuing to top the group, undefeated, 4-0-0, almost guaranteed pretty much at this point that they will get that #1 seed going into the playoffs. A bye going into the playoffs as well.
Crazy stuff from G2 here to pull it out on Haven. That last time out coming in from Josh, setting things up, allowing the team to really reset in the way they wanted to get in. But what a hell of a game from Leviathan. we don't see many teams be able to make a change and then show us something so great, come out and this strong in a series. It'll take a few weeks to adapt, but this looks very promising if it's something that LEV decides to keep.
It almost might be that solution indeed, where you're going to look at different maps where King's going to duel on some maps, you're going to have duel on some maps, but yeah, going week after week, you're seeing that it's a work in progress, but definitely starting to see some good results out of Leviathan overall. But unfortunately, with this loss, it also makes it difficult for them to try to qualify.